Hello, I'm Honor. Are you ready to turn small financial steps into big results? In all the finance videos you've watched, have you ever needed to be an economics genius just to understand a single sentence? Yes, I know that feeling well. Most of the money and economics advice you find and watch online falls into two categories. First, advice written in financial language by robots who have never opened a bank account, impossible to understand. Second, a deliberately engineered mechanism designed to separate you from the money you earned with your own sweat. The cycle of disconnection between financial content that looks smart and financial content that actually changes your life needs to be broken. I want to tell you who I am, because in the world of finance, your matters just as much as the value of what you say. My name is Honor and welcome to Honor Invests. For 9 years, I provided supplementary education in financial mathematics and statistics to university students studying in finance or economics departments during their challenging courses. Now I have opened this channel on budget management, investment strategies, and financial literacy, and I am voluntarily guiding you. My goal is to help you develop strategies to reach your own financial goals. I follow many finance channels. I needed to be here. Not to prove something, but to speak to an audience that might be looking for a different perspective for once. Because we deserve a seat at the table too. The reason I decided to open a channel was that I kept seeing the same cycle repeating itself over and over in the lives of people around me. How does money work? What does investing actually mean? Why is compound interest described as the eighth wonder of the world? Why is tax strategy not taught in schools? And perhaps what I wonder about most, why do so many smart, hardworking, talented people make such unpredictable decisions when it comes to money? Not because they have a bad relationship with money, but because nobody ever showed them the real rules of this game. They are playing chess while the pieces move on their own. I am using an artificial intelligence format for a channel built around building wealth from where you actually are. The video quality is not going to look like I have a professional cinema editing team behind me. I am making mistakes. I am learning. Honestly, I think this is exactly the right energy. Now let me tell you what genuinely keeps me up at night. We graduated feeling academically prepared and completely financially clueless. I can still roughly diagram a sentence. I remember the definition of a rhombus. I know the periodic table exists. But in no classroom I ever sat in did any teacher explain this. How does interest compound on credit card debt? Nobody explained why the house you can afford on paper is almost never the same as the house you can afford in real life. Nobody said this. Every single critical financial decision you will make in your life is based on mathematics that takes about 20 minutes to understand but a lifetime to ignore. And that gap is not accidental. A financially literate society makes different decisions. And different decisions are much harder to profit from. The system is not broken. T is working exactly as designed. Just not for you. That is why I built this channel. Financial literacy should not be a privilege reserved for people who already have access to the right rooms. It should be as fundamental and universal as learning how to read. The truth is, big things decide whether or not you build wealth. And big things are boring. They're quiet. What we talk about here is different. We are going to talk about how your rent or mortgage payment damages your financial future more than any other number in your life. We are going to see the real way to calculate the difference between what the bank says you can afford and what you can actually afford. We are going to talk about why the people who look wealthiest in your neighborhood are often the ones who go broke the fastest, and why those who live quietly in modest homes are actually the ones who truly own their lives. We are going to talk about the difference between looking successful and actually being successful. Because in my experience, these two things are almost exact opposites. We are going to look at the psychology of lifestyle inflation. That invisible cycle where your expenses quietly rise with every pay increase. That mechanism that makes you feel just as squeezed earning $75,000 as you did earning $45,000. This is not a coincidence. This is a pattern. And patterns can be broken. We are going to explain why investing does not need to be complicated. We are going to see that the reason most people deliberately overcomplicate it is that they simply cannot bring themselves to trust that something this simple could actually be this powerful. We are going to talk about the real role of patience in personal finance, about why the market rewards those who do almost nothing rather than those who do too much, and about what it looks like to use that knowledge deliberately. I have seen this. People earning $200,000 a year who are structurally and completely broke. No buffer. No position. One step away from a crisis, just 2 missed paychecks away. And I have watched this. People earning far less, with no magic and no luck, building impressive net worth simply by asking the right questions and making consistent decisions. It is not about how much flows into your account. It is about what happens to that money once it gets there. Wealth is a consistency game. It is about doing the boring and right things month after month, while everyone else is still looking for a shortcut. This journey feels to me like building a portfolio. Slow at first. I am making mistakes. But every day I am learning, growing, and moving forward. I would rather take you with me on this journey than wait until everything is perfect. Before I let you go, I need to ask you something. What is the one financial question you are most afraid to ask out loud? The one that feels too basic or too complicated or that too clearly reveals where you are right now. Leave it in the comments. I read every single one. Your question might become the next video. If something I said here touched you differently than the financial content you have seen before, leave a like. It costs you nothing and it helps more people find this. And subscribe. Because what we are building here is not just a channel. It is a community of people who are done playing financial defense and ready to start playing offense. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make right now. Not next month. Not when you feel more ready. Right now, if you are ready to stop letting this system keep you broke and start building the wealth you actually deserve, watch my first 2 videos and get ready for the 4th video. See you all tomorrow. Have a great evening. Goodbye.